What can I get you?
I'll get a 12-ounce dark coffee with a splash of half an ounce.
Sounds good. You want a happy birthday Johnny with that?
Oh, definitely. I'll take a happy birthday Johnny with that.
Sounds good.
Thanks, man.
Sounds good.
That's good coffee.
This is the legend of Johnny Ask with Johnny. Johnny.
Listen now, 'cause he's turning 60. Born with toes like Rice Krispies. Loved by his sisters and his older brother. There has never been another
Johnny. Schooled at Lisgar and then McGill. Poli-sci, but film's his thrill. Worked every job under the sun. Even acted in Highway 61.
He wasn't picky. Sold his soul for a Mickey.
There are days when you have to wonder, how did he become Johnny Thunder? Johnny.
So many stories, but here's a reminder. Traded his boots for a coffee grinder.
Did his time on Survivor, man. Johnny, you're a survivor, man.
So here's the Johnny. He's a wonder. Raise a glass to Johnny Thunder. The route he traveled that had no map. So let your hands clap. Oh snap, that's a wrap.
Happy birthday, Johnny.
Happy birthday to my brother from the same mother. Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
Hey Dad, I just wanted to wish you a happy 60th birthday. This is a really big one. I'm so happy that you were able to spend it with Charlotte and Aiden and Teddy and Jeff, and I hope that you guys can come this way over to me pretty soon. But I hope you have a wonderful day and an amazing year. I know there's so many great things to come for both you and Aiden this year, and I love you, and I hope to see you soon. XO.
Happy birthday, Johnny. I'm so pleased you're there celebrating with Aiden and Teddy, Charlotte, Jeff. That's fantastic. You're still a junior. You're actually not a senior quite yet. In 5 years' time, I will be saying the golden years have come at last. The golden years can kiss my ass. That's what I'll be telling you in 5 years. Anyway, have a wonderful time. Wonderful day and wonderful evening. And as I said, I wish I was there.
Happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday, Pappy. We're excited that we get to spend the day with you today. But cheers to 60 years. I think this will be the best year yet. And we love you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Johnny. Looking forward to seeing you.
Wow, Johnny at 60. This is cousin Timmy. And I just want to say happy birthday to Johnny, who is, I couldn't overstate what a towering kind of figure Johnny Asquith is in my life. And what a big deal it was to me to have cousin Johnny throughout my formative years. And I just want to say very happy birthday, tons of love, and need to see a lot more of you in the coming years. Happy birthday.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Dad. Love you.
Teddy, what do you say to Pappy?
Morning, Johnny.
Morning.
Happy birthday. Happy 60th birthday. It's a big one.
It's a big one.
It's a big one.
Yeah, that means that we're all getting older. I remember when you came back from the hospital and we called you Rice Krispie Toes because you were so tiny. Period. Wow, hard to believe the baby in the family is 60. Enjoy.
Happy birthday, Johnny. Enjoy it. Rip it up.
Yeah. Love to all the family. And happy birthday to Charlotte the following day. Wow. Woo.
Okay, old man. We'll talk to you soon.
Cheerio.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yo, hey Johnny, happy 60th from New York City. I was thinking, what do I get the guy that has everything? So look what I got you, man. I got you the Brooklyn Bridge. It's yours. It's yours for your birthday, man. So come on to New York City and come and collect your birthday present. Anyway, I hope you're having an amazing day. Love you so much, man. I'll never forget the first day I met you. And can't wait to see you. Hope you're having a great time. Love you, man. Bye.
Keep it brief. Who said I had to keep it brief, Chief? This is my man, Johnny Lamb Jones. Cousin Johnny, I remember being at the kids' table at Christmas, and it was always the highlight of our lives is that we were going to go and have our own table where we did get to discuss whatever we wanted to, and we were just left to freedom and the flow of wisdom, and just I have always been, since that Christmas table, trying to go out in my life and gather up good enough stories so I could show up at the kitchen table, at the Christmas table, at some kind of Mabel Strong and Able, can you bring a story to the table? Then there's the cottage, growing up at the cottage, and what's a super jock push-up? So a super jock push-up, my kids asked me the other day, is when you stand on your head, you do a headstand, and you push yourself up into a handstand. So my kids gave it a try, and then I said, try that on a wakeboard. Not a fake board, but a wakeboard. When you're being dragged behind a boat and you try and do a super jock push-up. Johnny would always push me to way beyond the limits of what I thought I could do. And then Nicky Johnstone, give me a break, Nicky Johnstone, on that oak diving board at the cottage. What's a back Mobius? What's a Robius? I mean, I don't even know my vocabulary back then, but there was always this forward-moving competition to push your own limits. And it kind of culminated when I went to work with Johnny at the Pack and Tent Shop. I put my application in February, I believe the year of our Lord, 1981 or something like that. And I learned more about sex and violence repairing canoes with Johnny. On the sex side, it was get ready to go on a date, mate. And Johnny was carving out the body parts that I needed to be very cautious about on my date. The second thing was, well, maybe this is worth its own little clip. I don't want too long a Charlotte download. This one probably lines up as, there's a lot of competition for the best of the best on the old Johnny Lamb Jones cousin mentoring and coaching, but I weighed in as the smallest person in the city of Ottawa to play Bantam football. I was a $103, meaning 103 pounds. And Johnny said, don't tackle people, take them out. And what's that supposed to mean? So pick the biggest guy, who was Jed Ratched, who was 189 pounds, biggest guy in the city, and take him out. And so there was this football, full contact uniform football, violent. I was in the Francophone neighborhood, and it was my duty to show up the next day to canoe repair and tell Johnny how I had done in my tryouts. And sure enough, I got into a full-on collision with Jed Ratched. Luckily for me, he tried to run me over and ran over, tripped over me, and I kind of flipped him over. But it gave me that reputation that Johnny was always trying to instill, that you are bigger than, what do I say? You're as big as you want to be. And this theme continued on. Johnny and I played rugby. I was thinking that I was too small to play on the men's rugby team in high school, and Johnny disallowed me to have that as an excuse. So off we went to go take on the Slay the Dragons, and it's been in my heart and soul ever since. Then I went to Lisgar Collegiate after repairing canoes with Johnny in the summer, and it was about probably day 10 in my high school career by the very polluted canal in Ottawa. And a whole gang of people came to initiate me, meaning they were going to throw me in the canal. And so they carted me off like, the way they carry poached gorillas in the mist. And they were carrying me to throw me into the canal. And suddenly the cavalry showed up. And it was like, what Johnny did for all of us is your immune system feels like it's time to fight. for your survival. Because Johnny declared that no one gets to touch his cousin. And some guy with a mustache decided that he had been initiated, everybody gets initiated, and a brawl broke out. And it was just classic Johnny, you know, lay down the moral law and pray for your enemies. Then after high school, I decided I would go to Burundi, and I would buy a ticket out of Montreal, Quebec, and go see Johnny with Michelle Rugema. And we went out for dinner the night before we went to Burundi, which is technically the poorest country in the world and a war zone. And so we went out with Johnny, and it was just the question and answer between Johnny and Michelle was one of the greatest educations of my life. Then one of the things I had promised at the time is that one day we'd bring Johnny to Burundi and to some of these whacked out places in Africa. And so sure enough, I went on this really life-changing trip, came back, went to McGill University because I had visited Johnny at McGill University. I just looked around and said, this is the life for me. And just Johnny always blazed a trail and made things look fantastic. Life was fantastic if you just followed in his footprints. And so first day at McGill, it's the lunch hour. It's the crowded kind of main campus. Johnny jumps up on this, you know, cement divider thing outside the library and shouts in front of everybody to me, Cousin JJ, get them before they get you. And it was, Johnny's always been an extrovert, but he's also had phenomenal timing on, you know, there's no room for you to be shy guy first day at university. After McGill, I moved to Toronto. I'm homeless, I'm friendless, I don't know nobody and nothing. And so sure enough, I make my way down to Nassau Street, and Johnny introduces me to everybody, blazes a trail, so suddenly I feel like I'm accepted, I'm warm, I'm cool. You know, your self-esteem is everything. Your belief in yourself is everything. And Johnny believes in you, and he makes you do things that make you believe in you. And then you know, I've been afraid a lot of my life, and Johnny taught me that if Johnny's got a bravery level that goes way beyond most people's comfort level with the concept. So I invited Johnny when there was a massive, I think it was 1997, massive snowstorm in Toronto. And I invited Johnny to come along on this project in Madagascar. And there we were, if you remember, Johnny, your nickname was Sakamalo. And then there's Faizna Baba, Faizna. And we were walking across just when the snowstorm had hit here, and it was like they were calling in the military. And sure enough, we were walking along in northern Madagascar in this Emerald Bay in tropical paradise when we were just getting the news. It was just one of those things where you got to laugh and keep pushing your sense of adventure. And Madagascar was just one of those phenomenal trips. Not just the timing of it, but when Johnny and I hit these badass places, we're in a comfort zone with each other, and everybody can feel it. Everybody around us can feel this affable confidence going into some rough places. And I'd say the roughest place in the world statistically is Eastern Congo. Johnny, you'll remember going into Uvira. We had to rent a private army, or at least Michelle did, and we rolled on into the roughest place in the world. It was just one of those things where, you know, because I'm with Johnny, it just shifts my blood to the passing veins, and suddenly I'm still afraid, but I go anyway. And I hope there's a video clip somewhere of Johnny being honored by the mayor of Toronto as a superhero for saving, you know, the girl who got slashed up with a crazy guy with a knife. And Johnny, you know, if you've ever seen that video clip, that's Johnny. And if you grow up, you know, people talk about heroes, but, you know, the city of Toronto mayor acknowledged, like, Johnny took on this guy with a knife to lay down the moral law. And if you grow up, you know, with that as your cousin, it changes. Be brief, man, be brief. Holy kittens to Murgatroyd, be brief. I could sit here at my kitchen table, kitchen table. I could go on for days on Cousin Johnny stories. But it just affects how the blood flows through your body to be Cousin Johnny's cousin.